to live in perpetual joy. This is more important for me. To live a life free from fear, to live a life free from stress, anxiety. That is more important for me than having God realization. That is there ultimately, of course. But for this, I need to do some Kurukshetra within me. That is the best way to fight that Kurukshetra is through meditation.
He wrote, God talks with Arjuna. What makes the Bhagavad Gita of Yogananda different from other Bhagavad Gitas? What is the essence of this very book?
When you realize that there are negative qualities within you and you need to overcome them, means you have already taken a very big step towards self-realization. So I was every day regularly meditating as taught by Paramahansa Yogananda Giri, Kriya Yoga, and doing my research. God is Sat-Chit-Ananda, ever existing, ever conscious, ever new bliss. That God, you can contact Him on a regular basis, anyone. I have 3 bodies. One is physical body, as we are all familiar with. And I also have an astral body, Sukshma Sharir, Bhautik Sharir, physical, Sukshma Sharir, that belongs to astral world. And I also have causal body, Karan Sharir, even subtler than this.
Important theme of Bhagavad Gita is the karma. Shri Krishna says, do your karma but be detached to that karma. But do you think like it's humanly possible to do an action and not think of the outcome? Namaste everyone, a very warm welcome on the show, and I'm your host Rangoli Sharma. Another day, and I've brought to you another exclusive episode of our English series Mystic Mind. Now, if you like to follow the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, this is the podcast for you. In today's discussion, a very special guest has joined me today. He's a senior monk and vice president at YSS currently. And with him, I have talked about the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, and especially the Gita of Paramahansa Yogananda. How can you apply the wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda's Gita into your life? What makes it different from the Bhagavad Gita that we read? How it will help you? We've also talked about different aspects of meditation. We've also talked about how the characters of Mahabharata are living inside all of us. So these are different mystical areas that we've covered in today's podcast. So I'm sure if you enjoy such conversations, you would really like this podcast. And now let's welcome our guest for today. I would like to welcome Swami Smaranananda Giri ji on Speaking Tree. Swamiji, a very warm welcome on the show. Such a pleasure to finally sit with you today and have this divine discussion. How are you?
Doing very well.
Swamiji, we've chosen a very meaningful, a very interesting topic for our audience today. Since you have joined us, I have taken up Yogananda's Bhagavad Gita. I have taken up the Mahabharata, which happens in all of us. And you told me a very unique and interesting perspective that all the characters are living inside us. And even Paramahansa Yogananda himself said that there is an inner battlefield which lies in all of us. So today we'll explore how to connect with the virtues, with the positive qualities. So Swamiji, I want to understand from your perspective, how does the Mahabharata is taking place in each one of us every day from your point of view?
Let's understand the context of Bhagavad Gita. Pandavas lost their kingdom in the game of dice. As a result, they had to go into exile. 12 years of Aranyavas, followed by 1 year of Ajnatavas. They finished the 13 years and came back and demanded their kingdom, which is legally, morally theirs, their own kingdom. But Kauravas sitting here denied, we won't give your kingdom. Then having no other alternative, Pandavas declared a war to get back their
kingdom.
And on the eve of war, when Arjuna saw the people whom he had to fight to get back his war, relatives, friends, then he was dejected. It wasn't worth fighting. Then Bhagavan Sri Krishna gave advice, Bhagavad Gita. There is an analogy with our own lives, each one's life. See, potentially we are all divine. We are all different expressions of the same divinity.
Yes, sir.
Divine spark is there in me. Aham Brahmasmi. This is not my statement. This is the statement of many religions. All saints declare this.
Yes.
That we are all divine potential is there in each one of us. But I lost the divine kingdom in the game of delusion. I am subject to this Maya, delusion. As a result, I lost connection with my own divine kingdom which is there within me. And for Pandavas, it was only 13 years of exile. But for me, incarnation after incarnation after incarnation, I am living as a mere mortal with all the limitations of a human being, forgetting about my divine qualities. Incarnation after incarnation. After having many hard knocks in life, one day I come to realize that, no, the love and joy I am seeking cannot be attained permanently from this external world. That love and joy within me, I am heir to that. I would like to have that. Pandavas, by mere asking their rightful kingdom, didn't get it. They had to fight. Similarly, my mere understanding that there is real joy within me is not adequate. Just mere knowledge. I have to also acquire it. Because there are Kauravas sitting in me which are preventing me to have that kingdom. Who are these Kauravas? For Pandavas, Duryodhan, Dusyasan, Karna, Vikarna, Sakuni, Bhishma, Drona. These are the people who are preventing. Here within me are my anger, material desire, jealousy, Atyasa, that's greed, the delusion, ego, habits. These are all Kauravas sitting in me. And as long as I have all these negative qualities, I can't get the divine kingdom, although it is mine. So I have to wage a war to remove these negative tendencies like anger, desire, jealousy, greed. I have to remove them. Only when I remove them, then divine kingdom is revealed to me. I become divine. So this is the correlation. There is divine kingdom in you, but you are not able to perceive that because of the negative tendencies which we have.
Definitely, Swamiji. But then, Swamiji, there comes a question that why our negative tendencies overpower our positive qualities?
Yes.
Why does that happen?
See, there are instances where Kauravas overpowered Pandavas.
Yeah.
But eventually Pandavas won the war. Similarly, you have the potential to win this war against your own negative tendencies, although negative tendencies may seem to winning now and then. Eventually you have, because Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, he wrote this book, God Talks with Arjuna.
Yes.
Interpretation of Bhagavad Gita in yogic terms.
In yogic terms, yes.
Yogic terms. And in this book, he says that this is not only a war worth winning, but a war that must be won sooner or later as per cosmic design.
As per cosmic design.
That means your winning over your negative tendencies is there. It's a question of sooner or later. Let's make the efforts to make it sooner, because the sooner we win the battle, sooner the joy in which we can live perpetually. See, for me, God realization, self-realization, ultimate mukti is not as important as to live in perpetual joy. This is more important for me. To live a life free from fear, to live a life free from stress, anxiety. That is more important for me than having God realization. That is there ultimately, of course. But for this, I need to do some Kurukshetra within me. That is the best way to fight that Kurukshetra is through meditation. When I am meditating, I am winning over the negative tendencies in me, winning over the Kauravas within me. And definitely I will win. You will win. That's the cosmic design.
Swamiji, how to reach to that level that you realize your own divinity within yourself and that you realize you have some negative qualities which need to be destroyed within you?
When you realize that there are negative qualities within you and you need to overcome them, means you have already taken a very big step towards self-realization. Because many people in this world do not understand that there is negativity within them. In fact, pride, for example, I take pride in my position. I take pride in my possessions. I take pride in what I am. And I don't think that it's anything negative, pride. Because I am given so much, I am so and so achieved so much, it's natural for me to be happy about it. But to be proud, that many people do not realize.
There's a fine line between both, right?
Humility is required. It's because of some grace, some factors around me that helped me to get education in this life. That's why I'm an educated person. Be grateful to the circumstances rather than saying it's my own efforts I could have this education. That's pride. Whereas humility is, I had good education in this life because of various factors helped me. You may be very, very intelligent. Suppose you were born in a village where you don't have access to good education. There is the end of your education. But all the factors helped you and me to get educated. Similarly, all that we achieved in life. So a little bit of humility should be there, gratitude should be there, instead of having this is what I am now. This is what. That pride is not going to give lasting happiness. It's not for someone else that we have to remove pride. It's for my own inner peace. Once you are proud, you have to maintain your status, to maintain that pride. So you become so happy internally, at the same time achieving more and more and more, because you are free from that anxiety of proving yourself. Pride means what? I am greater. You have to prove. Whereas if you do calmly, the same achievements will be more and more and more you can achieve. So it is in your own interest to conquer that pride in you.
Yes, that's one step closer.
When you realize that there is negativity in me, the qualities I should conquer, already one step towards self-realization or for inner joy.
But Swamiji, this is a lifelong journey, and some people reach to a spiritual level where they are able to self-realize, that Atma Bodh they are able to have. So is it like their experience of many lives, their experience of past lives, that, it gives them that self-realization at a very young age?
You are right. It's experiences in life. One's own experiences are observations. How people are, what they are. One can see and then understands that pursuing these goals, is it going to give ultimate happiness, which doesn't seem to have given happiness to so many people around me. So there is something else. So it comes from within, from self-analysis. Yes, there is something more than outside achievement. They're all good. It's not that we don't achieve. We should be very active and keep doing very efficiently with enthusiasm. We should keep working to achieve more and more and more. Do more and better in life, in professional life, in family life. Do more and better. Achieve. At the same time, that's not all to life. There is something inside too. For this, we have to have a balance of inner life and outer life. Outer achievements must be there. There are many spiritual people who have achieved a lot in life. For instance, say now I am a sannyasi. But even as a sannyasi, I have many responsibilities. Many words, you can call them as worldly responsibilities. That kind of, we have an ashram, we have to maintain it. We have so many issues to take care on day-to-day basis as anyone else. For example, we have a legal department, legal issues. As anyone else, we have to take, I have to do efficiently. Similarly, see, before I joined the ashram, I was a professional as anyone else. I was an engineer, I was a scientist. I was meditating regularly, finding that inner balance, inner joy. At the same time, I was working. For instance, I was working towards my PhD degree. Normally, PhD degree takes about 3, 4, 5 years, as you know, after PG, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I could finish in 2.5 years. That's from IIT Kharagpur. Normally, one does BTech, then MTech, then PhD. I did BTech, then PhD. No MTech at all. Even that in less than 3 years. But how did I do it? If I were not active in life, if I were not focused on goals, if I were not enthusiastic about my research work, I wouldn't have achieved this. That means I was not meditating at the cost of my professional life and my material efficiency. I was very efficient in all these things. At the same time, internally, I was quite happy, never worried about what's going to happen. Everything was falling in place. Because meditation. That is meditation. So I was every day regularly meditating as taught by Paramahansa Yogananda Giri, Kriya Yoga, and doing my research. So I could get that inner joy as well as very good results in my profession. That itself proved I was so happy. In such a short time I could finish my PhD. I was not worried what will happen, which job I will get. Can you imagine that by the time I finished my PhD, barely I finished, I got 6 offers from North America for postdoctoral fellowship. So results will be there as long as you are working with enthusiasm, plus keep that inner life by meditation. So balanced, right activity and scientific meditation. That's the basis.
Swamiji, now that you talked about meditation, that meditation helps you reach that level. So let's just say any of my viewer who is watching this podcast and they haven't started with meditation, they want to make it a regular part of their lives. So from where should they start and how would it transform them?
First, there must be interest in meditation. Then approach one of the reliable resource who have been teaching our well-tested yoga principles. Learn from there and try it. Sincerely try for some time. Then you will understand this is the path I should follow. And then that will take care of you. I mean, shall I tell you how I started my meditation?
Sure, Swamiji. Yes.
No. It was when I was doing PhD at IIT Kharagpur. I approached the Swami and said, please tell me, please teach me meditation. Then immediately asked one question, why do you want to meditate? You are a busy research scholar there, why do you want to meditate? Then, surely it was not for sake of God and self-realization I was wanting to meditate. God is there, having born in this country. From childhood we have some reverence for God. God is there for children before exams. God is there for elderly before going to hospitals. I mean, that's the role I gave to God. But to sit down and meditate on God, to read something about God, no, I don't have time for that. I am not interested. I need better concentration in my meditation. That's why I told Swamiji that I understand that meditation gives deeper concentration, so I want better concentration in my research work, so I want to learn meditation. Then he said, fine, meditation helps you to deepen your concentration, but you have to meditate 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. 20 minutes, fine, I can very easily give it. But if I knew pretty soon I was going to spend longer than 20 minutes, I would have never started meditation in my life. Because more than that, it's not possible, it's not worth it. I'm so busy with my research work. But 20 minutes, fine. So I learned. Yogoda Satsanga Society, organization started by Paramahansa Yogananda Giri, author of this famous book, Autobiography of Yogi.
The spiritual classic.
I started the meditation techniques taught by him. There are 3 techniques he teaches. The first basic technique I learned initially, and I started practicing it, known as Hangsa technique of concentration. Hangsa. Generally, I'm a little bit focused in the sense if I take up something, I do it with sincerity, not just like that, doing once in a while like that. Very sincerely, I was meditating 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening, regularly in my hostel. Then, pretty soon, by his grace, I was convinced by personal experience of the existence of inner joy and the possibility of contacting that joy on a regular basis. Joy is not something unknown to me, not unknown to you. Now, I'm joyful when I eat some nice food. I'm joyful when I meet a nice person. I'm joyful when I hear some good news. Joy is not unknown to me.
Yes.
But this joy that came out of practicing this Hangsa technique of concentration is so different.
How?
So different. I mean, it was not because of this happened, that happened. No matter what's happening around me, no matter what's happening to me, I can still be joyful by meditation. That was a revelation in this life for me. That means there is something like inner joy which doesn't depend on the external events. Otherwise, even a research scholar goes through ups and downs. Sometimes it's very good, sometimes it's not so good, activities, people, interactions, all kinds of ups and downs are there. Emotions, enough reason to be unhappy now and then. But whatever happens in the day, but when I meditate, still that restoration of inner peace, joy was there. So I touched by personal experience, not someone telling or reading, that there is some inner joy which can be contacted through the practice of meditation. Then I started reading this book, because from him I learned Hangsa, meditation technique. So what it is, then I started. Many people first read this book, Autobiography, and then start meditation given by Paramahansa Ji, Kriya Yoga meditation. Many people. But for me it's the other way. Somehow I started
with Hangsa.
Then I wanted to read. Then when I read this big book, I found God is ever new joy.
Yes.
God is Sat-Chit-Ananda,
Yes.
Nitya Naveen Anand. Earlier from childhood, God is someone in the clouds, with four heads and 8 hands, some venerable personage. And with reverence is there. But now I understood God is Sat-Chit-Ananda, ever existing, ever conscious, ever new bliss. That God, you can contact him on a regular basis, anyone.
And he's always accessible to you.
Right? Always accessible, anywhere, everywhere. So that is how, then the 20 minutes became 30 minutes like that on its own. I started enjoying.
Swamiji, there are a lot of commentaries about Bhagavad Gita. A lot of people have written upon it. A lot of people have tried to decode it from their own understanding. But when it comes to Paramahansa Yogananda, he wrote, God talks with Arjuna. What makes the Bhagavad Gita of Yogananda different from other Bhagavad Gitas? What is the essence of this very book?
Yes. God talks to Arjuna, definitely very unique. It's not like any other interpretation. This gives the meaning of Bhagavad Gita in yogic terms. That is the beauty.
In yogic terms.
Yogic terms.
Okay.
See, Bhagavad Gita can be explained at different levels. One is at material level, psychological level, then metaphysical, spiritual. And this deals with all three levels.
All the levels.
All
material, spiritual.
Yes. See, this deals with my material life, physical life, that my actions, etc., duties and actions, everything. Again, how to go about your duties, how to go about your actions, it gives the guidance. And at the same time, thoughts, my subtle thoughts are there, which guide my life also, that's astral. And it gives guidance, how to control your inclinations, habits, etc. And then causal, thought level and spiritual level. Spiritually, what happens when you meditate, that all those things that take place in the spine, chakras, everything, metaphysical point, that also gives. So this covers all three levels which are pertinent to daily life. See, putting it in another way, I have three bodies. One is physical body, as we are all familiar. And I also have an astral body, Sukshma Sharir, Bhautik Sharir, physical, Sukshma Sharir, that belongs to astral world. And I also have causal body, Karan Sharir, even subtler than this. Physical body I have, but that is animated by astral body of energy, inclinations, habits. And that astral body is in turn is governed by a thought level, consciousness thought level, that causal body. To explain this, I will give an example. Suppose I have a glove. I'm wearing a glove for this hand and move this. What do you say? The glove is moving. No? But glove is not moving. Glove is moving because of the movement of the fingers. If fingers do not move, glove cannot, it cannot move. But how fingers are moving? Because of the instructions the fingers received from my brain. No? Then only. So if you see here, glove is the physical body, analogy. Fingers are astral body, and the thought that is driving the fingers is causal body. But glove on its own has no entity. It may have some physical entity, but it can't have move. It's moved only by astral body. Astral body is governed by causal body.
Causal body,
So, if you're just trying to do everything with the glove alone, it's not going to have full control. You have to control the astral body and then also have something to do with causal body. That is explained here. At all three levels, it's explained. For instance, initially we were talking about Pandavas and Kauravas within us, isn't it? Why I am not able to express that full divinity which is already within me? I am not able to enjoy that full love and joy which is already within me. That's because of the negative
tendencies that
I have. What are these tendencies? You agree? Anger,
greed.
Anger is represented by Dusyasan. As long as Dusyasan is there, Pandavas cannot get their kingdom. As long as anger is there, I cannot touch my real inner kingdom of joy. And desire, material desire is Duryodhana. Greed is Karna Vikarna, attachment. And then jealousy, Krutavarma. And then pride is Shakuni, not Shakuni, Selya. Individual, the temptation and delusion, Shakuni. These are all negative traits I have. That Ahankar, Bhishma, habit, Dronacharya. These are all Kauravas I have. But I also have some Pandavas in me. I follow Yama, Niyama in daily life. They are Sahadeva and Nakul. The Yama is Sahadeva, Nakul is Niyama. Self-control I have, some self-control I have, that is Arjuna in me. The pranayama practice, that is Bhima. The calmness, that interiorization I have is Dharmaraja. And I am also, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is guiding all his Pandavas. Similarly, my Guru in daily life, Paramahansa Yogananda, that Guru, he is my Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So I have Pandavas in me, I have Kauravas in me. So the war is going on. The war is going on. So I have to consciously support my Pandava tendencies and consciously try to win over my negative tendencies like bad habits, pride, jealousy. These things I have to consciously try to annihilate my Kauravas within. To the extent I am successful in doing so, to that extent I am so joyful because more and more good qualities are ruling me, they are guiding me. So I am bound to be happy.
Swamiji, now let's dive deep into the essence of the book. How are the teachings different? One is that question. And how do we apply the practical wisdom of God talks with Arjuna in today's life? How do we do that?
Very good question. Very good question. In Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, author of this book, he said, whenever Arjuna asks a question to Bhagavan Sri Krishna, it should be treated as the question of an aspiring devotee, like you and me. We are all aspire for inner happiness. So the questions put by Arjuna are your own questions coming from within your soul. Question. So he sees, for example, Kauravas. At that time, he doesn't see them as Kauravas, enemies. He sees the Bhishma, Drona, venerable elders, Aswadhama, my friend, Duryodhan, Dusyasan, Vikarna, they are all my cousins. These are all my cousins and relatives. How can I fight? Can I kill? Is it worth killing for this little bit of material kingdom? Yes. Question, you know. Now, in practical daily life, laziness. I enjoy being lazy. It doesn't harm anyone else. I enjoy sleeping for 10 hours, 9 hours. It doesn't harm anyone else. You cannot say it's a bad habit in terms of harming others.
It's something you enjoy.
I enjoy. But you are misusing your own time. The same hours, so many hours you don't have to sleep, little less you sleep and use that for something higher. Let us say, explore your inner joy, meditate, and put that effort into your professional life. You can make use of it. But as far as this is concerned, why should I reduce my number of hours in sleep? Because that's maybe a Kaurava, but I am so dear, they are my relative. And I take pride in my positions, in my possession. I enjoy. I am not harming anyone. But in doing so, you are harming your innate good qualities of the soul. But I enjoy all these things. So, in daily life, you can have to realize that these appear to be my friends, but they are actually enemies in disguise. Laziness or overeating. I enjoy eating. Another thing is, doctor advises me to go for walks regularly. But I don't enjoy that. It's a Kaurava in me, repulsion. Walking daily means it's a repulsion, Kaurava in me. But I enjoy it. I think it's a friend to be lazing around. So this is what we have to realize. This is what Bhagavad Gita says. This book God talks to Arjuna. If you think that the habits which you are enjoying are not your friends, they may be giving temporarily some happiness to you, but in fact they are your enemies in disguise. In the long run, they are going to affect you. So isn't it practical value to this interpretation? Realize what is your true friend, who is your true friend, who is your enemy. Identifying friends and foes within.
Swamiji, one very important theme of Bhagavad Gita is the karma. Sri Krishna says, do your karma, but be detached to that karma. But do you think like it's humanly possible to do an action and not think of the outcome? How can Yoganand's Gita help us understand karma better and help us do the karma by being detached to it?
See, Bhagavan Sri Krishna did not advise us to be detached to the work.
Okay.
He only advised detachment to result of the work. The reason is, as you sow, so you
shall
reap.
we reap. Yes.
You know, that is definitely, it can't change that principle. So you should be very attached as far as how best I can do this. Whatever your duty, how best I can do, more and better, you can do it. At the same time, what will happen if this goes, if that worry about the results, that is what you have to leave. When you don't have that worry, you will perform better. Whatever you are doing, you will perform better if you don't have worry. This is the advice, not detachment to the work itself, detachment to the worry of the outcome of the. It doesn't mean that you should not think about the possible consequences. Possible consequences, you have to worry about it. What is going to happen? Accordingly, I should work. I should modify my attitude, my work habits, so that I could get a good result. That is there. But worrying about consequences, this, that, etc., that is not advised. So, Karma Yoga means working with enthusiasm, with efficiency, all that, integrity, honesty, everything. You have to put the whole thing while working, without worrying too much of the result, because result is going to be according to the effort you are putting anyway. So worry about the effort, not the result. That is the advice given, not that leave the result.
It's the worry and the stress that comes with an action.
Yeah, that anxiety.
And Swamiji, I think it's a very relieving idea in itself that somewhere God is preparing us that if something doesn't happen in your favor, then you're not bothered by it, right? Yes. By this very idea. At least that's what I personally take it.
Yeah. Because there are so many factors. You are not living alone in this world. So many factors are there. So result of your action depends on many factors which are not under your control. You do best according to your abilities.
Swamiji, how was Paramahansa Yogananda's understanding of Gita different from other commentaries?
Yes, as I already mentioned that, it also deals with spiritual interpretation. In a way, he explains that the highest form of Karma Yoga means engaging in inward and outward activities that lead us union with our highest self, that is spirit. Not only outward activities we are doing, also inward activities. Inward activities means what? Meditation. Meditation, people may think that it is just passive, people are sitting there. No, meditation is intense activity. It requires a lot of concentration, and so much is happening in the chakras. When you are meditating, the chakras in the spine, like Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, so much activity is happening in chakras. That is highest form of Karma Yoga. You are working there, and the result is going to be what? Peace, joy, love, wisdom, intuition. These are the results. That's what you will get. So engage in outward activities, good actions, plus inward activities as we do in meditation. The result is that your little self identifies with higher self within. That is highest form of Karma Yoga. That's what Gurudev explains in this book. Inner activities also.
Swamiji, you also mentioned that Bhagavad Gita, and especially this understanding of Paramahansa Yogananda, it would help you attain that spiritual satisfaction. It would help you in your material life.
Yeah.
So how would that balance happen? How can I or any of my viewer who is watching this podcast apply this wisdom of this very commentary to attain that spiritual and material benefit?
So, okay, I'll answer with an example.
Sure.
Every day we take so many decisions. Some are simple, trivial decisions. Some are quite serious, decisions. How do you take decisions? Generally, your decision is based on your past experience, your likes and dislikes. I take this decision because I like to do this sometimes. But any decision taken based on your mere likes and dislikes, even past experience, may not necessarily lead to the result hoped for. The decision should be ideally based on some knowledge of the possible consequence. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
How do you know possible consequence of this action? Logic will not help always. Past experience may not be able to see that. What you need is intuition. Sahajava bodhan, agaman. If you have intuition, that is able to see that. Not because of logic or reason, you feel this may happen. That intuition is there in you and in me, him and her, in everyone. As everyone has the power of thought, we also have the power of intuition. And that intuition in me and in you manifests in calmness. When mind is calm, calmness is the fertile field where intuition manifests. So I am guided by my intuition when I am calm. That calmness is achieved through meditation. Meditation gives calmness of where thoughts are subdued, emotions are subdued, anxieties are not there. Then in that calmness, intuition comes. With that intuition, you will be able to feel the possible consequences. Then you will take decisions accordingly. And don't you want to be guided by that intuition? Rather than just guided by likes and dislikes and past experience. And that's what we're all looking for. And that is the meditation, which is your birthright actually. To meditate, to get this intuitive power is your birthright. And that is why so much importance is given in Kriya Yoga path to meditation. Meditate and be guided by your own intuition rather than your likes and dislikes and just mere past experience.
Lovely.
That is explained very clearly in this book, called Talks with Arjuna.
And Guruji, I'm sure we all would apply this wisdom that we discussed today. So any last message that you have for my viewers today out of this podcast that you would like to address to them?
Please meditate, be guided by intuition, and be in touch with your inner joy. Each one of us has that property, inner joy. And it is possible for every human being, it's possible for every human being to touch that inner joy through meditation. So please give some time in your daily life to meditation. I start by our ancient rishis. Some may have a question. I want to meditate, but my thoughts won't cooperate.
Yes, I would have 1,000 things going on in my head when I sit and close my eyes. That is one very prominent question, Swamiji.
It's very common for all. So here, I would like to say that our ancient rishis are real spiritual scientists. By experimenting over centuries, they found one fundamental truth. Mind and breath are interrelated. And see, we all know that how difficult it is to control our mind. The more you try to control your mind, the more astray it can go. But our saints and sages, ancient rishis, they found that mind and breath are interrelated. You can control the mind through some process of breathing. It's not only they found the relation, they also given the techniques, the procedures to work on your breath so the mind comes under your control. And these procedures are pranayama techniques, meditation procedures. If you do pranayama the way ancient rishis found, then it's not that you are working on your breath. Slowly, you get the control of your mind. Control of the mind means you are free from these thoughts, anxieties, emotions, and you are so calm. In that calmness, you are guided more by your intuition than by your likes and dislikes and just mere superficial knowledge of life.
Wonderful.
So, I would advise anyone is give some time to meditation and you will see the difference in life, as I myself found. I told
Wonderful, Guruji. Yes.
One of the greatest revelations in my life is the existence of inner joy and the possibility of contacting that joy through meditation. As a result, no matter what's happening around me, no matter what's happening to me, I can always be joyful inside.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Swamiji, for joining us today and this deep, meaningful wisdom. Thank you. So you let me know in the comment section, how did you like today's discussion and from which part of the world are you watching this podcast? How has the teachings of Swami Paramahansa Yogananda inspired you in your life? What are your queries? Do let me know in the comment section. And in the upcoming podcast, which more topics should I cover with the guest? Let me know in the comment section. This is your host Rangoli Sharma. I'll see you in another podcast. Namaste.